Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily AMG. And if this is the first time that you're seeing my face, my name is Amanda. I am so happy to have you here. Today I'm going to be doing a video that I did last year at the same time, and it is my basically reading and review. This is a tag that has been on BookTube for a long time, and I think it's called the reading survey tag, I guess. And so this is basically cheers and jeers of the last year. So let's get into the questions. I have them here in my handy dandy Lash notebook. All right, the first question is, how many books did you read this year? I read 83 books in the year 2019, and that is actually the lowest number of books that I have read since I think 2016. Question number 2, what was your most read genre of 2019? I'm gonna say literary fiction is probably number 1, but really thrillers might be number 1. Let's go with either one of those as being that. Okay, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Favorite book of the year, Beartown. I have to include the sequel, Us Against You, because together, they must be read together, they must be binged together. These books are so phenomenal, start to finish. They will absolutely rip your heart out, tear you in two. It should be required reading in high school. It is about a hockey team, and one of the players rapes a girl who happens to also be the daughter of one of the coaches or the GM. And the reaction of a town, a reaction of a school, of a hockey team, especially in a town like this where that hockey team is everything that they have. I've already given you like way too much. It is just devastating and beautifully written and absolutely harrowing, and again, should be required reading in school. All right, question number 2. What was your least favorite book of 2019? My least favorite book of 2019 was Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. This is the second in the Simon & Baz series. I think it's gonna be a trilogy. I'm not certain. I absolutely loved Carry On so much. And then you took Simon & Baz and put them on a really strange road trip in America. I felt like she was really patting herself on the back with this one because there were so many nods to things that are important in her life, and she didn't really think of her audience. Okay, next, question number 5. Most disappointing book of the year. Listen, it's not Wayward Son. That wasn't the most disappointing book of the year for me. The most disappointing book of the year was Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. If you know Riley Sager, you know what he's capable of. Final Girls, The Last Time I Lied. You think, wow, he can really write from a female perspective. He can really get gritty and put you on the edge of your seat and really put you there on the page with the character. I don't know what happened here. So what I'm going to say is, if you are watching this and you are saying, I love that book, you crazy lady, then I implore you to go read Rosemary's Baby. And then as you close Rosemary's Baby and you go, wow, it wasn't even a good adaptation, come back to me and we can have a conversation. Because this being in any way, shape, or form a retelling, a reimagining, a borrowing Just a borrowing. I mean, the book is dedicated to Ira Levin. It says it right here. To Ira Levin. I get it. You paid homage to a classic. But anytime, and I think why I'm so up in arms about this, is anytime that I know a book is going to be any type of retelling or reimagining or adapted, I always read that book first. Like, I always read that. So when I got this and I saw, okay, yes, there's a secret door in, okay, because I've seen the movie Rosemary's Baby. It's a freaking classic, right? So I go and read Rosemary's Baby, and I was like, wow, that was fantastic. Let's go, Riley Sager. I believe in you, man. I have loved your other two books. And then it just, okay, first of all, the character development is a no. I didn't care about this girl. I did not care that she was so down on her luck, that she fell for something that just no one could suspend their belief enough to even think that that was an actual thing. Nobody's paying people thousands of dollars to apartment sit with all these crazy rules, and people are going, yeah. Maybe I'm just overly cautious or whatever, but I just thought, that's not a thing. So I already didn't care. I didn't care about her situation, and I didn't care about anything. I loved the apartment building. I loved the creepiness. I loved that there was a dumbwaiter involved. But aside from that, like, if you're going to get into a cult and you're going to get into some stuff, like, go for it. Go for it. I think even if I had not read Rosemary's Baby prior to reading this and then compared it the entire time, I still would not have enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed his other books, and I still would be here saying that it was my most disappointing book because based upon the way that he has written women and written these situations, this just fell short for me. Okay, next. Number 6, the most overhyped book of the year. I am giving this wholeheartedly to An Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This sounded so cool, where you have like a psychiatrist and this study, and then things are just, ugh, it just fell kind of flat. And honestly, for a mystery thriller, it wrapped itself up way too pretty. That bow at the end, I was like, or not, let's leave this messy. Okay, so number 7, the most surprising book of the year. I have 3. I have 3, okay? I have 3 books. Okay, so Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This is the first in a trilogy, and it is so incredible. It is about these two, okay, so first of all, it's set in the future. We have cured everything. There is no death, there is no disease, there is no more of that. So now you have to bring in scythes that glean people, so you get your population in check, basically, right? So you follow 2 apprentices that are apprenticing to become scythes. And oh my gosh, the political intrigue, the uprising. There are 2 more to this because, like I said, it's a trilogy. And I'm reading the second one currently. Neil Shusterman is such a genius. My second most surprising book is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Holy Toledo. This follows a man, oh my gosh, a man who wakes up every day in a different person's body at the same party to solve a murder. It's like Groundhog Day and Clue. You have these individual characters that are so flawed and so funny and so intricately woven and you don't know which one of them he's gonna wake up in, and it's so good. Okay, and then the last book is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. Now, this is a retelling of The Turn of the Screw. And guess what? She does it so right. Oh my gosh. She does it perfectly. So this book is about a woman who becomes a nanny to some creepy children in a creepy house that's also a smart house, which is totally cool and also super creepy. And she just does this mystery and a retelling of such a classic, like an extreme, I don't know what, 19th century classic. It was, I mean, I read it prior to reading this and I was creeped out. I mean, it was so good. It was so good. And then reading this and I was like, yes. Now that's how you do a retelling. Number 8. The longest and shortest books you read in 2019. Vastly different sizes. Okay, so we have The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn that comes in at a whopping, a staggering 63 pages, and that's including the acknowledgement page. Followed by It, which comes in at, I won't count the acknowledgements because I didn't read the acknowledgements, you know what I mean? Comes in at 1,153 pages. 1,153 pages. Number 9, biggest reading accomplishment of the year. I think I'm gonna go with reading it in a week or 2 or however long it was. Number 11, favorite characters from a book this year. This is hard for me. I think that I'm going to go with Becky Bloomwood. I read the 9th book in the Shopaholic series. It was just really nice to be in that world again with Becky Brandon and Nay Bloomwood, and just the quirky situational comedy that Sophie Kinsella writes is pretty perfect, and I really needed that. I mean, she is like Amelia Bedelia, Lucille Ball. She just, Sophie Kinsella writes her in such a way that you just can't help but just fall in love with this character. Number 12, a book that made you cry. Oh, Beartown, for sure. Number 13, a book that made you laugh. I'm gonna go again with Christmas Shopaholic. Number 14, an underhyped book. I'm gonna go with The Music Shop by Rachel Joyce. And it's about a music shop owner who just kind of knows what music someone needs at that time. It's just so good. It's just so good. I wish more people would read it. Even though it was a book of the month pick, I never hear anybody talking about it. Final question. Question number 15. A new favorite author. I think I'm gonna go with Ruth Ware. I think I'm gonna go with Ruth Ware. I really do. I mean, now that I have today finished all of her books, I can say that as I read them, I enjoyed all of them, and I enjoyed them in different ways, and they're all so different that I honestly did not remember that it was the same woman reading it. And the more I think about that, the more I'm just impressed. Yeah, Ruth Ware really surprised me this year. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm so glad to be back on YouTube. I will see y'all in my next video. Bye y'all.